On this episode, we talked with musician Willy Porter. We chatted about musical beginnings, his guitar style, and the recording and writing process. We touch on his new single, Baseball on the Radio, celebrating Milwaukee's own Bob Uecker, and what's on the horizon for Willy. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is Lacrosse Local.
Had a Chevy V8 with Naugahyde seats, family station wagon, 1973.
I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and my father was a piano player. So that was really my early introduction. My parents were both really into music as well. So
I kind of started following you. I found your self-titled album, and I don't know if it was kind of the music I was listening to at that time. I was listening to like a lot of Michael Hedges and Leo Kottke, and I remember your album being in the mix. I also remember just, over the last couple of days, kind of revisiting some of those songs, just kind of your unique guitar style. What has informed your way of playing?
Well, both of those artists for sure, Leo Kottke, Michael Hedges, but also Joni Mitchell, I think, she had a lot to do with some of the chord voicings and stuff that have sort of stuck in my head through the years. So it's really kind of an amalgam. I love rock and roll. I just love all music. I'm not particularly formally trained. I mean, I've had some classical guitar stuff through the years, and a little bit of theory, but I'm pretty much self-taught. So it's just kind of follow your bliss.
You have some new singles coming out, Baseball on the Radio. What is that song all about? I know what it is already just by reading up on it. Was it kind of inspired by the recent success of the Brewers?
Yeah, sadly, that's come to an end. But more than that, it was the realization that Bob Uecker was celebrating his 50th anniversary as a broadcaster.
Radio says the pitcher just brushed him back. Just a little chin music backed him out of the box. Uecker's weaving a story like he's knitting some socks. Yeah.
As a kid, I remember him on the radio, and that made me think back to times with my father and working in the garage and stuff, and just what a nice thing it is to have an AM radio crackling away with a game on it when you're working on something. I really enjoy that, and I think that's about as American an experience as we can have.
What is your recording, kind of like your process with writing? Is it fast? Is it quick? Writing and recording? Is it something that you knock out pretty quickly, or is it something you take some time with?
It really depends. I mean, some songs they come really quick and they're really simple to distill. Others take a lot of time, months and months, and sometimes even years of work, and also just letting them sort of simmer. I think they come from all sources and they come in every different way. Recording is sort of the same way, but I try to be really prepared when I go to record so that I don't waste a lot of time. I kind of know what I want to achieve and have pretty clear objectives about how the songs are going to be rendered. So that process is generally faster.
I've always noticed you as, at least coming through town, I've been in La Crosse here for pretty much my whole life. I've always noticed that you have been playing at the Pump House. I attended a number of years ago. I can't remember exactly when. Were you always touring? How did COVID affect your work and your lifestyle?
Really, COVID shifted everything, to a virtual world, which was fine for me. I had a studio in my house. I was able to make that adjustment fairly quickly and also do it with a certain level, a high level of audio and video production that made it livable for me. I don't think I could have done it with just, a single camera and a laptop. I needed to have some audio production involved. So that was a fun experiment. And my son and I really enjoyed working together on that. As far as touring goes, that's how I've made my living. And that's how I've supported myself for years and years as a full-time musician, was to hit the road. You make a record, you go out and hit the road, and that's the story. And the wonder of this country is that it's so big that you can hit different regions once a year, and really fill a dance card, if you will, with lots of dates. It's, you can work as hard as you want in America, and that's a great thing as a musician.
So what has it been like, kind of jumping back into it?
It's been strange. I think I don't really know how else to describe it. I think there's a certain nervous energy, even if the audience feels safe. There's still a little bit of a strange feeling being shoulder to shoulder with someone. And some folks just are simply not there yet. They can't do it. And I respect and completely understand that. So I'm fully vaccinated. I test before each show, on the day of the show, to make sure that I'm negative as much as I can. And for that reason, I feel okay with it. But I certainly understand the audience members who do not. And so for that reason, we're playing to reduce capacities everywhere. The audience is in some cases reduced by a third, as much as 50% in some cases as well. So it's going to take time, and hopefully it'll return to normal soon.
What are you excited for the next year or two? I believe you have a new album eventually, right?
Mm-hmm. I have something I'm about halfway through it, producing with a great producer named Mike Hoffman, who's been around the Milwaukee music scene for years and years. And he produced the Dog-Eared Dream record, which was a breakthrough album for me. And so we're reunited on this production, and I'm very excited. It's a band album. I really am enjoying the tunes and writing for that. So that'll come out in 2022.
Coming up, people can see you perform locally in La Crosse at the Pump House Regional Arts Center. For someone who hasn't seen you play, what can people expect for that night?
Certainly it'll be a lot of guitar stuff, but I'll cover a lot of ground, from songs that are, 3.5 minute tunes to playing a couple things, that are longer instrumentals, some tunes that are more like a journey than they are necessarily a song. So yeah, I'm just trying to stretch. I do a lot of improvisation live these days, and that still remains a blast, and a lot of audience interaction. So tell some stories. I'm going to pack as much music in as I can.
Nice. So if people want to find out more about you or just follow along, what's the best avenue for them to go to?
Probably still my website has the dates and stuff, though we are revising it at this point. Also bands in town, they can figure out where my tour dates are. And I'm on all the social media stuff that's ruining the world.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com, and you can subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.